We want revolution.
Bookmarklets on standby.
Log online, fan page loaded and ready.
Player stats, loaded. Health check, go.
Weapons check. Eyes check, complete.
We have launched for the Informant Podcast in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Informant Podcast, your news source for quality information regarding Mafia wars by Zynga.
We are not affiliated with Zynga in any way, shape, or form.
I'm Pistol Pete from Spockholm, and I have here with me tonight Mig Chainsaw Chester.
What's up, Pete?
How are you, sir? Wonderful
I'm
night.
doing. It is a wonderful night. It's great.
Yeah.
Everything's working out well for us.
Got stuff coming out from the Mafia Wars loot lady. Jennifer, you there?
Hi, Pete.
How you doing, Jennifer?
Hi, Chester.
How's life?
Life is great. It's good to be back. I'm glad October is over and we can start a new month.
We also have with us Jana, Death by Gucci. How are you doing?
I am great, thank you. How is everybody?
Wonderful.
I'm doing much better. I'm glad it's November too. October flew past me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was sick like the entire month, and so now I'm ready to rock. It's going to be a good month. In fact, I think I might even win the lottery tonight. It's possible.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
You'll have to share with us if you.
Yes.
Yeah, I was about to say we're going to actually split that.
So how was everybody's Halloween?
It was actually great, besides me breaking my toe.
Uh-oh, you broke your toe?
Yep.
What, did you forget your flashlight and trip over a pumpkin?
No, my wife had actually come back from wherever the heck she was, and she asked me for help, so I go outside, and we have something that she drives over, so she doesn't make a drive-through of my wall in the garage.
Yeah.
And it sticks up like a quarter of an inch. I had bare feet on, so I go across, and I kick that thing, and dear God, I saw black, red, purple, green, just right before my eyes. It was just like... It was killing me. Anyway, it's all purple and everything, and then I had to walk around with the kids and do the trick-or-treating thing, and it got bad, so I jumped in the car, and I was following them, and I'm pretty sure that the police got a few calls about some prevert out there following kids on Halloween, so...
We have a lot of kiddos in our neighborhood, and so we had tons and tons of houses to go trick-or-treat at. My oldest was Shaggy, my youngest was Scooby-Doo, and my middle guy was Indiana Jones. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of candy still left over, which is bad.
Oh, it'll be consumed quickly, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure it probably would be, so.
Yep. So what's going on in the Spockholm world?
In the Spockholm world, well, you know, for those that don't know it, is over at facebook.com/Mafia Tools. The thing that I was going to talk about a little this week on the Spockholm report, we get some questions about how we do updates and when they get done and how do we decide on what's new that we're going to come out as far as bookmarklets and stuff like that. It's a real challenge for us because there's only two of us over there. And so we try to do our best to, you know, to see the needs of everybody and make sure that the bookmarklets that get the most attention are the ones that are obviously fixed first when something's broken on them. You know, like I just got notification today that the Family Ferret, which is a bookmarklet for collecting some stats on your members of your family, isn't working quite the way it used to because of some change by Zynga. Tonight I'll probably spend some time and try to fix that one. But there's others that, you know, we just don't get right around to doing because they're not as high a priority as some of the others. We do try to get in the requests of everybody with regard to the changes that we put in new bookmarklets and stuff, and, you know, encourage the rest of the community that's out there with people that have script writing ability to take and write some of their own stuff too. I think that helps us balance the load of what we're trying to do and keep the game fresh and give the click monkeys a rest and get PETA off of Zynga's back and, you know, all that good stuff. So
Yeah, tell me this, what is the most used bookmarklet?
the most now, I would say, is probably Lincolnator is one of the ones that's probably getting the most attention. And then the other probably real big one is Repeat Job, the one that's used to repeat the jobs in the different cities. So that's probably the two biggest right now, I would say. There's other variations. At one point, I would have said it was like Attack X, but when Zynga nerfed the rules on, you know, who you can fight and what loot you can get, and you couldn't get loot from iced players that kind of put a kibosh a bit on the Attack X. Those are probably the two big ones right now, is Lincolnator and Repeat Job. And, of course, we've got both of them running now, and they do a great job of what they were designed to do. So
Cool.
Nice.
Yep.
I actually figured out Lincolnator this week. Thank you, Pete.
I saw that. I saw your post.
Were you so proud of me?
That was cool.
Well, it's definitely very helpful with all the stuff you have to get for Italy. Because
there's a ton of items.
You need so much, and it takes so long to actually be gifted at all, that I'm finding the little search quite helpful.
They decrease the drop rate, too, for all the property building materials when you do jobs. They really don't drop that much. So gifting is the best way to get them.
We talked about the last episode about whether or not bookmarklets help alleviate server load. Actually, Lincolnator would, because you're not having all those passes through the servers for those gifts that have to be processed the way that they do, and you get to pick the gift that you want instead of having to accept everything that comes down the path. So I just think that's one of those things we can continue to try to hone in on and make it easier for everybody.
Very nice. Very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's right.
And it's easy to use. I used to be afraid of it because it looked really complicated. And then when I actually did it and tried it, I felt stupid because it was so easy.
It was really easy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The thing I was having issues with is that I tried to post it and it wouldn't post.
To make a point about that, I did figure out what was going on with that, and I'm going to have to figure out some way around it. It's the limitation on your status. They limit you to so many characters, almost like a tweet, is only 140 characters. What's happening is when you post too many links, it extends beyond that canned character amount, and that's what's stopping it from posting. So actually, if you go into that box that comes up and you go in there and you take out a few characters, normally then it'll post just fine. So it's one of those, I got to figure out a way to work around that.
Another reason it won't post too is if you're unframed and you've logged out of the Facebook side and your session timed out. But the easiest way around that is called copy and paste. So you can copy the message and then go paste it in your status updates.
I think that's what I did the first time I ran it before I figured that out. So
I mean, it's more convenient if it posts for you, but if it doesn't, it's not that big of a deal because you can just work around it.
Right, and then the character amount maximum is 420 characters. So
cool. So Pete, if somebody wants to get some of your bookmarklets, where do they go?
They would go to facebook.com/Mafia Tools, and then from there, there's all kinds of links back to the mothership of Spockholm. I like that. You get all kinds of information there. There's lots of information about what to do if bookmarklets aren't working. We encourage everybody to post if they have recommendations on new bookmarklets. Can't guarantee we'll get them in the pipeline, but there's lots of things that are in the works. Martin kind of snuck out one that's boss fighter for Italy. That's kind of very, very experimental, but it's kind of working. And we have some of these that trickle out occasionally just to see how they play out in the community. And if they take steam, then we fine-tune them, refine them, put in better stats and everything else that goes with it.
Martin likes to sneak in those new bookmarklets, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He and that's the thing. Like with the both of us, it's you have this really delicate balance of when do you come out with something new as opposed to spending a lot of time on something old. That is a tough one, and so I appreciate what Zynga goes through with some of the things that they make that they decide to roll out. Is we constantly berate them over the fact that they're not fixing some of the old stuff, and we're all kind of caught in that a little bit because we want to stay fresh and on the cutting edge.
Cool. Also, you got to remember that you can also get to Spockholm pages from the Informant Podcast page as well. All right. So, Pete, thanks so much. Jennifer.
Yes.
What you got going on?
Well, let's see. We haven't really talked much about Mafia Wars for a week because of Halloween. So big things that have happened since then is we had the Halloween missions. Those are gone now. But you got some cool loot if you did enough of them. Mm-hmm. But now we have new missions. And if you've noticed, there's one that requires 8 people. And I'm in the process of having everybody send me screenshots of their rewards just so we can get an idea of what kind of stuff we're going to get. And it doesn't look like it's any better than the missions with 4 people or 3. So that's kind of disappointing. We're going to have an event this weekend called Infiltrate the Pentagon, and I don't know for sure, but it looks an awfully lot like the prize pigs and the masked robbery event. So that's just a matter of sending out gifts. And you could use the Linkinator as well.
Yay.
Right now, what we have going on, it was just thrown at us last night. There wasn't any prior announcement. We're getting 2 times the fighting loot, and that will last all weekend.
Yay, I love it.
Yeah, it's a good time to use your stamina to fight. I was able to do some comparisons, and it doesn't look like it's exactly 100% more loot, but it's like 74, 75, but there's variables mixed in there that it's hard for me to say based on one study. But it's only the loot, so all the fighting loot, the Bangkok loot, Russia, Cuba, the stuff we don't really want, we're going to get twice as much of.
Fantastic.
Yes, but nothing for the Chop Shop, Weapon Depot, or Armory. And as always, the Italian property loot hasn't been dropping anywhere. That's purely gift-based right now.
Yeah, that's a pain, too, because it takes forever to get the stuff that you actually need. And people out there have actually, like, not a lot of friends, so they're not getting squat.
Like
Poor
you.
people. That's right, I have no friends.
No, let me correct myself. It does drop while doing jobs, but it doesn't drop that much, and it doesn't drop at all in fights.
No, not in fights?
Nope, even if you fight in Italy.
Ah.
But you get Chop Shop. Yeah.
No, yeah, they're not there.
And then the armor parts, we figured drop about 1 armor part per about maybe 800 stamina.
That's cool.
Like I did a run of 7,000 fights, 7,337, and I got 8 armor parts.
I see.
Wow.
So, hey, Jennifer, I have a question for you. How has it been for you working with Zynga on your Mafia War blog there?
Oh, well, that's fun. They've posted a few of the things I've written. I'm still going through a learning curve, so if you look at some of my articles, they're not the prettiest.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll just give me an assignment or a topic to write about, and then I'll write it.
They're treating you nice and everything?
Yeah, they're very nice, and they're helpful if I have questions.
Do they feed you?
No.
Oh.
They just say, hey, write an article about this.
Well,
What kind of food do they have?
Yeah, I know. I knew you were going to say that, too. Scooby snacks.
Yeah, they
got
give
those
me a
tough
Scooby
questions.
snack for
I do.
everyone. Yeah.
They sent her an Italian collection.
I think it's a positive sign that they reached out and want to do this because it was more of a community type effort to show that they're interested in what players are having to say.
Yeah.
Exactly. And there's something else that they're doing that they just released out that I put up on the Informant Podcast today at 3:44 p.m. That's right. So your inventory screen, when you go in and you look at your loot, or you go to your profile page and you see 15,000 feet of loot that's there, they're actually going in and they're going to be revamping this. And they have a forum thread, and they want everybody that plays to go into the thread, give them some suggestions. They've already put some mocked up concepts, but they want you to come in and say, yes, I like this, I don't like that. They want to get it right finally. So they're finally involving the rest of us in there. Go over to the Informant Podcast page. You'll look at the inventory revamp, can't miss it. Click on the forum thread link that I have and jump over there. Look at what they've got, the concepts, and put your feedback in. Everybody wants to be heard. This is your chance.
And if you don't comment, you're not allowed to complain if you don't like
Exactly. It's like voting.
it. Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly.
And they actually put that on their blog as well, and they turned off the comments on the blog, and I think they really want people to comment on the forums so that they have everything in one place.
Well, why don't you tell us how to get to your main blog so that people can learn more about all that?
Oh, well, I have a fan page, which is Facebook.com/Mafia Wars Loot Lady, and then the links to the blog can be found there, but it's mwlootlady.blogspot.com.
Oh, cool. And you have how-to articles and things like that over there on bookmarklets and different ways.
Yeah, originally that's what my blog's intended purpose was for, was to give very easy step-by-step instructions for people that want to use the bookmarklets but don't feel they're computer savvy enough, which is how I felt. I remember I was in the trading world just starting out, and everyone kept talking about this thing called the chucker. Well, when I went to use it, I had no concept of what a bookmarklet was, and I kept clicking on it, and it wouldn't do anything. And I kept
Right.
asking, how come it doesn't work? And I would be told, oh, the server might be down, or nobody like told me how to do it. And finally, maybe like 3 weeks later, when somebody in my Mafia showed me, and I was like, wow, this is really easy. How come nobody told me that?
Right.
Jen,
Yeah.